Welcome to Computer Science AS levels, and we are going to start our topic of chapter number 8, database. The chapter is still going on, and we are going to continue the topic of DDL and DML. So what is a full form of DDL? Data Definition Language. And DML stands for Data Manipulation Language. So what is the difference between both? Let's study. DBMS uses a DDL. It means database management system using a DDL feature. Why? To create, modify, and remove the data structures from a relational database. So do you remember the relational database? The database which is going to connect two or more than two tables with the help of foreign key. Hello, are you there?
Sorry, sir. My mom came in the room.
Okay, no worries. So do you remember we have discussed the topic of relational database?
Uh,
The two tables
relational.
are
Oh,
connected.
yes.
So for that relational database, we are going to use DDL. Why? To create, to modify,
Uh,
and to remove
okay.
data
To
structure.
create, modify, and remove data structures. Okay.
From the, oh, okay, please hold on. Listen to me carefully. Don't repeat. So we are going to create, modify, and remove what? Data structures, means tables from the relational database. So DDL statements are written as a script. So there are some statements for DDL which we need to type. So they have a syntax. Syntax means we're going to type it as a computer language, right? But they are actually not the computer language. They are the statements. So that's called DDL. Again, DDL is used to create, modify, and remove what? The tables from our relational database. Is it okay?
Oh, yes, sir. Understood.
What is DML? Data manipulation language. So DBMS uses data manipulation language to add, modify, delete, and retrieve the data. It's stored in a relational database. So look, the things are a bit different here. In DDL, we have create, modify, and remove. In DML, we have add, we have modify, we can delete our data, and we can retrieve our data back into our relational database. So DML statements are also written as a script that is similar to a computer program, like you're going to use an SQL. In SQL, you're going to type the statements, and that statements are either DML or DDL languages. So these languages have different functions. DDL is used for working on the relational database structure. You have to understand this sentence. DDL is used for working
Working
on the
on
relational,
the relation.
whereas DML is used to work with the data stored. The sentence, again, I told you, focus on the sentence wording. Work with the data stored
Okay.
relational database. So DDL is going to, if we are using it for working on the relational database. But DML is used to work with the data stored, the data which is already stored in the relational database. So the DML is going to add it, modify it, delete it, or retrieve it as per our definition. Look here. Any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay. So we are going to use an SQL. SQL stands for structured query language. It is a query language used to modify our database. So let's see SQL, DDL commands and scripts. So first we are going to start with the DDL commands. In order to be able to understand and write SQL, you should have practical experience of writing SQL scripts. So if you use SQL, and there are many applications like MySQL and SQLite. They are available on internet, so you can download them and you can make small queries. With the help of YouTube, you can easily learn it. So you can use the DDL and DML commands script easily. But right here, how do we use it? So let's see. These are some statements for the DDL. What? For the?
For the DDL.
Okay. So in DDL, you can use a command, create database. So in DDL, you're going to create the database. This is a point. So with the help of DDL command, you can create the database. Then you are able to create the table in the database, right? Then you can
Yes, sir.
alter the table. Alter means you can add, remove the columns, fields, whatever. Then the most important thing of our database is primary key. It means you're going to modify your database, your tables by the primary key. You can add the primary key to a table, and you can also add a foreign key to your table. So the DDL commands are the basic commands for our database. What I learned, look, creating the database, creating the table, altering the table. It means these are the basic things. Without these commands, can you do any modification? Can you amend anything? No,
No.
because the table does not exist. The database does not exist. How could you modify it? There's no point. So the DDL commands are the most basic commands because it creates our database. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you have to do? You need to take out your notebook. First, you need to write down this paragraph. I'm marking with a red pen. Look, you need to write this one. You need to write this one. And this one is very important. No need to write down this thing. No need to write down this thing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And we know the data types. You're already familiar with the data types used in programming languages. I teach you the same thing in the topic of programming concepts. Again, we have the same data types we use for our database. Basically, data types belongs to the attributes, means fields. So you have a character, it means fixed length text. Sometimes that you're going to write a name, and you already noticed that
Okay.
in many websites you have a text field like this, a text box like this. In this text box, you have a bracket and written down 32 characters. It means that they are going to bound you that the user must write the name under 32 characters. So for this thing, we are using the character. If we are going to find out the fixed length character, like if somebody's name is Sayyid Muhammad Qasim, whatever, and it is under 32, so it will be accepted. But if it is above 32 characters, it is not accepted, right? Only the characters till 32 will be there in the box. Do you understand?
Oh, okay, sir. Yes.
Varchar. Varchar variable length text. Basically, the varchar value is 255 characters. So the user can input the characters up to 255, right? So varchar means variable characters. Boolean, you already know. Boolean works for true or false, yes or no. So SQL uses 1 or 0 for Boolean. Integer comes with a whole number package. Real, decimal places. Date will be used as year, month, and day. This is a format. You have to remember this, okay? And the time, hour,
Okay, sir.
and second. So these are some data types we use in the attributes we used or we designed for our database. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Great. So what you have to do right now, you need to write down the SQL DDL commands, and you need to write down or copy down the data types. Then we are going to start algorithm for our DDL. Okay, do it now.
Okay, sir.
Now we are going to understand how the DDL commands work. As I teach you, the DDL commands up there, and we are going to first use the creating the database, creating the table. So it means that the DDL commands are the basic commands, because without the help of DDL, we cannot work with it. So let's see, how do we do this? First, create database. What is the name of database?
Database is school.
School. This is the name of our database, remember. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
create table. What is the name of the table?
The name of the table, it is
Student.
student.
Yes. Do you notice there is a parenthesis there? The parenthesis defines you that now you're writing the attributes. So the first column is student ID. What is the first column?
Student ID.
Yes. Look, I'm drawing it for you. Look. So the first column right here is student ID, right? This is how
Yes, sir.
going to be designed. Look, student ID, the first attribute or column. What is the data type of student ID?
Data
Character.
type of student ID
Character.
is
I think
character.
it's
It's char.
not shared
I would
with
say
you.
char.
It's character.
It is. It is.
Okay. What is
It's
the next?
char.
Look, column. What is the next column?
It's first name char.
I'm writing FN. First name with the data type character. What is the next column?
Second name. So
Look,
SN with
SN. I
data
have
type
written.
character.
Very good. Next field is date of birth. What is the next field?
Uh,
Date of
Date
birth.
of birth. So
And the,
DOB date.
yes. And the finally,
Then there is class ID.
class ID. Look.
CID. You can just write CID.
So these are the attributes. What is the name of our table?
It is student, sir.
Student, right. What is the name of our database?
School.
Yes. So this is how you're going to create the database along with the table. Do you understand it or not?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Great. Now you're going to alter your table. Alter table. Name of the table is student. What alteration you need? You are going to add what? Primary key. And you're assigning student ID as a primary key. So I'm making a static on it. Static represents a primary key for me right now. This is not a symbol. Don't think it's a symbol. I'm just
Oh,
for telling you for your attention. So student ID is a primary key. You are using alter. Look, what command you're using? Alter. Then table. What table? Student. You're add primary
yes,
key.
sir.
On which column? On which field? Student ID.
Student ID.
Yes. Any problem?
No, sir.
So this is done. Now you want another table. What is the name of another table? Look, create table. And name of the table is class. Class. Is that okay? Then you use
Okay.
parentheses here. Look. Oh, one more thing I forget to tell you. Look, do you see this parenthesis with a colon? The colon tell you that your query is ended. If you see the colon, it means your query is ended. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you notice the parenthesis again here in the class? Look,
It is
look,
column.
I already marked. Yes.
Class, bracket. Yeah, the bracket. I
Okay,
can see it.
now tell me how many fields are there?
Uh, there is class ID,
Okay. First is the class
location,
ID.
license number.
Class ID. So I'm just writing ID.
Okay. Then there's location.
Location. I'm just writing LOC.
Okay, sir. And then there is license number. Just write LN.
LN. So do you understand how the computer is going to creating the tables? And look again,
Tables,
the
yeah.
parenthesis is ended with a colon. So how many tables you have?
Uh, we have
Tables.
two.
What are the names?
Student and class.
Perfect. Okay. Now again, you're going to alter your table. The name of the table is class. Again, you're going to add what? Primary key. On which field? Tell me.
On which field?
Yes.
ID. I think
ID, class ID. So I make it star
yes.
frame. Okay. Then what you want? You wanted to connect both the tables. You want a relationship between the tables. So you, again, you're using alter, table, student, the first one, and add foreign key. What is the foreign key? Tell me the foreign
It's
key. Class
it's
ID.
ID, sir.
Class ID is here. Class ID is here. The class ID is present in both tables. So this class ID, look, is going to create a relationship between both tables with class ID references. You're using the word references here. Class, the table name, and the class ID.
Okay.
So this one is for the class table with the column class ID, and this one is a student, is connected with the student, acting as a foreign key. So this ID, look, this is a foreign key, which is connected, with the class, the table class with the same name ID, right? So this type of key is called foreign key, which is present in both tables and showing the relationship between the tables. Understand or not? Hello, Kasim, you there?